Hello everyone, welcome to another WWE pay-per-view prediction video. A week after Summerslam, why are we even having another pay-per-view? It seems WWE is just trying to make an appeal for the Thunderdome, but this is what Vince McMahon wants, so this is what he's gonna get. Okay. Payback at the WWE Thunderdome in Orlando, Florida. Taking place tomorrow on August 30th. Right now we have 7 matches on the card. This is going to give me less agita because I can pretty much organize this. So let's get into it. Okay. Singles matches for non-championship reasons. Let's go to the one I'm really looking forward to. Keith Lee taking on Randy Orton. Rematch from Monday Night Raw when Drew McIntyre interfered. Okay, so Keith Lee gets called up to the main roster after losing his NXT Championship match to Karrion Kross at TakeOver 30. Okay, maybe there is an appeal for Keith Lee. So, I'm going to say this right now. I think Lee wins because they want to build him up down the line. Maybe in the future they're going to build up an epic match with him and McIntyre. It could happen. I mean, they probably just want to rush Keith Lee along, it seems. And to bury Randy Orton kind of does make sense here because what's Randy Orton really going to keep doing? I mean, it's been like this for the majority of the year. So Lee takes down the legend of Randy Orton, and we move on from there. Okay. Second non-championship match, we have Matt Riddle taking on King Corbin. So one of 2 matches announced last night during SmackDown Live. This, of course, has been a storyline on SmackDown for the past couple of weeks with Matt Riddle and King Corbin. I look at it this way. You have Matt Riddle trying to make a name for himself on the main roster as well. He just got called up from NXT a couple weeks ago. King Corbin is King Corbin. I get that. He won the King of the Ring tournament last year. And by the way, we need a new tournament as soon as possible. Maybe they'll announce it tomorrow or something, but Matt Riddle wins. Because Matt Riddle is going to make a namesake for himself on the main roster. I calls it as I sees it. And lastly, a match that's very easy to predict. Biggie versus Sheamus. I've liked how Big E has definitely developed himself into a singles competitor. They've done a great job promoting it on SmackDown. Big E, of course, being by himself, the only lone member of the New Day that seems to be the only healthy one on the roster. Kofi Kingston can't stay healthy. Xavier Woods seems he can't stay healthy. So they've pushed Big E, and they've done a good job doing it. And do I miss all of the New Day? Yeah. Who doesn't miss all of the New Day? You know, I was getting annoyed that, they were always getting pushed, but with the climate our country is going through right now, I've gotten to, I guess, appreciate the New Day more. And especially now, I've gotten to appreciate how Big E has really stepped up. I was praying for him. I was really getting nervous for him, but they've done a good job. So keep the ball rolling with Big E. He's going to beat Sheamus tomorrow night. And we'll see what happens down the line for Big E. We'll see what happens. Because anything can go for Big E as a singles competitor. But we'll see what happens down there. Okay. This was announced on Raw this past Monday night. Dominic Mysterio will be teaming up with his dad, the future Hall of Famer Ray, taking on Murphy and the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins, a.k.a. Seth Rollins, the future daddy to Becky Lynch's baby. Okay, So this is definitely now the time to bury Seth Rollins. Alright? Isn't Becky due to have the baby in November? And by the way, it would be crazy. Imagine if Becky Lynch's baby was born the same day I was, November 8th. Could happen. But looking at it this way, I've been saying this. You have to let Dominic grow. And I've been hoping for a year that Dominic would grow into a spot where he would become a very good singles competitor. He's been training for years with his dad. And I like how they build up the storyline to hopefully have this conclusion, because it's getting annoying already. I'm sorry, but Seth should be with his wife. There is no excuse why Seth isn't taking time off to be with his pregnant wife. His wife is 7 months pregnant. Of course I'd take off to be with my wife if I was an athlete. No? I would. Or if a situation comes where my wife was about to give birth, of course I'd take off. So it's time to end this. Let Dominic and Rey win. Let them finally be the heroes. And overall, down the line for the remainder of the fall, I want to see Dominic have more singles matches on Raw. Dominic needs to have more singles matches. Whoever he takes on, it's good. It's good to keep promoting Dominic. And I think Dominic's going to have a great future in this business. So Dominic and his dad, Rey, win the match. And Seth Rollins will cry a little bit, but the cries of sadness will hopefully become tears of joy when his baby finally is born, I guess. And for Seth, good for him, he's about to be a dad. Enjoy fatherhood. Because I'm a 24, 25-year-old guy still not in a relationship. Okay, let's move on. Let's see what I can predict. Okay, I pretty much got everything else predicted. So I got 3 more matches. Okay, how am I going to organize this? Okay, I think I got it. Apollo Crews taking on Bobby Lashley. This is interesting. Another member of the Hurt Business taking on Apollo Crews. Where have you seen this one before? I don't know. I mean, I do feel bad for Bobby that he's not a champion. I'm going to say this right now. Bobby is going to win the U.S. title. And down the line, they're going to make McIntyre face MVP for the WWE title. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of liking the heel storyline of the Hurt Business. Many people will disagree with me on this, but I actually enjoy the storyline. I like how MVP is the mouthpiece. He definitely presents himself as that. They've built the character up very well. The Bobby Lashley character is this strong guy. This big, muscular dude. Very muscular. Why isn't he a champion? That's what doesn't make any sense to me. And the way I look at it, there's a good future with this Hurt Business storyline. It's not getting boring. I like how Ricochet and Cedric Alexander are involved with this. So, whoever's writing at Monday Night Raw, keep it up. Because I think this should go into the early part of 2021. There's no question. You have to have a long feud. And right now, this is the perfect way to continue it. So, your new United States champion. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't feel bad for this guy, Apollo Crews. Bobby Lashley wins the United States Championship. And I would be very shocked if he doesn't win. Because the full Nelson's going to be locked in. And I wouldn't want to be in that position. But I respect the Hurt Business. They're going to be around for a very, very long time. And plus, make them go to Raw Underground every other week or every week. Because they're going to take over Raw Underground. See, if they get involved in Shane McMahon's way, then that's good for that storyline too. So, there you have it. Moving on to the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Bayley and Sasha Banks. And I can't believe I'm actually saying who's taking on the Golden Role Models. Former two-time NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler is teaming up with former Raw Women's Champion Nia Jax. This kind of portrayed itself on Monday Night Raw this past week, and they did promote the match on SmackDown last night. So, this is where it leads up to the Bayley and Sasha Banks match for the SmackDown Women's title down the line. Ooh, you think Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross ending their friendship was one thing? Wait until Bayley and Sasha Banks end their friendship on camera. So, this is going to be a joke where you're going to have Shayna and Nia as champions. Okay, might as well make it happen in the short run. So, Shayna and Nia become your new Women's Tag Team Champions. And lastly, we have our main event. The no-holds-barred triple threat match for the WWE Universal title. The new champion, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, taking on Braun Strowman, and a surprise return during SummerSlam last week where we never saw it coming. Roman Reigns portraying himself as a heel. Oh, where have we heard this from? Oh, that's right. The One Wrestling News page. Sorry to call them out. But it does make sense now. Does it? I love how they're going to make The Fiend be the hero, which makes sense. They should make The Fiend the hero. You're turning Strowman heel. You're making Roman a heel. And I'm just going to spoil it now. And if you didn't watch SmackDown last night, I do feel bad for you. Paul Heyman is Roman Reigns' new manager. We've not seen Paul Heyman since WrestleMania, when Brock Lesnar lost the WWE title to Drew McIntyre. And I will say this now. Good for Drew, he doesn't have a match. Save it for the September pay-per-view. Because there is going to be a September pay-per-view. We just don't know what it will be yet. I'm assuming they'll... What WWE always does is, they always have Michael Cole or Tom Phillips or whoever's announcing. They'll probably just announce, like, what the next pay-per-view will be. But yeah, let's predict the match. So, I know what's going to happen here. Roman's going to win. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't win, because that virtual audience is going to boo him each and every Friday night. And I plan to be in that virtual audience. I'm going to hopefully sign up for the Thunderdome, because I can't do Monday night. Monday night is just too long. You know, I can't sit through it for 2 hours in a virtual audience versus SmackDown. It's 2 hours, and I can enjoy the show at least. But all reality, Roman wins because, look at it this way. If you're going to make Roman Reigns the heel now, then when are you ever going to do it? It's time to pull the trigger. Vince McMahon has finally realized that we want to see Roman as the heel, and we want to see The Fiend as the hero character. I certainly want to see The Fiend as the hero character, because as a professional wrestling fan, I enjoy these monster-like characters, like Kane and the Boogeyman, for an example. Those are two monsters that I, think of as ultimate heroes that were just scary looking. I like that stuff as a professional wrestling fan. Unlike AEW, where they make Brody Lee the heel and then beat the living you-know-what out of Cody Rhodes for the TNT title. But Braun Strowman doesn't have that appeal for me anymore. I could care less what they do with the character. It's time to just move on past Braun Strowman, and it's time to just pull the trigger on a long feud that should happen. Now, if The Fiend defends, I'll be very happy here. Because what you can do is, you can always have The Fiend take on Roman Reigns one-on-one down the line either next month or October. You can always do that. There's really no need for Roman to win, but I think he's going to win. I just think Roman as the heel character is going to win. And if he doesn't win, and the Fiend wins, I'll be happy about that. But I'll be very upset if Strowman wins. Because why? I understand you want to make Braun Strowman a villain, but I just don't have that appeal towards Braun Strowman like I did months ago when he beat Goldberg at WrestleMania. I've lost all my attention to him. Do I feel bad for Braun anymore? No. You know, if he ends up in AEW down the line, or Impact Wrestling, or another wrestling promotion, you know, that's what's going to happen. Because that's how WWE works. You know, you lose your appeal. It's like how nobody cared about Kurt Hawkins after he left. Where's Kurt Hawkins now? In Impact Wrestling. Nobody really cares anymore about Kurt Hawkins. Sometimes you could be in AEW and be successful, like, I don't know, Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy had a good match against Sammy the other night on AEW. Matt Cardova is going to be in a long storyline with Brody Lee, hopefully. So sometimes things just work out differently in professional wrestling. You can be in a whole different situation. Sometimes your plan B is AEW. And right now it seems to be that way for some of these wrestlers. Not everyone, but some of them. I'm sorry to make a rant, but, you know, I am in full agreement with Mr. Faluka from OWN. That's all I'm saying. So if he's watching, that's just how I feel right now. You know, I don't want to see any more of the Braun Strowman character. I'm done with it. I want to see more of the Roman Reigns character being the villain, and I want to see the Fiend being the hero. Because that's what I want to see right now. So, 17 minutes has gone by. I'm done here. That's pretty good. So, I will be back sometime next week with my predictions for AEW All Out. I am very stoked and excited for next Saturday. I know this is just the WWE, but trust me, folks, All Elite Wrestling's next. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the show tomorrow night on WWE Network. The pay-per-view does start at 7, and I will mention Roman is on the poster. So, that's interesting. Pre-show starts at 6 p.m. Eastern, and I'm sure there will be a pre-show match. I'm going to predict it now. I think the Biggie Sheamus match is going to be on the pre-show. So, take care, everyone.